Hey guys, went deeper into some channeling and some interesting things kind of came up. It's again, it has everything to do with that initial point where, okay, doesn't matter which country you're born in, doesn't matter what time era you're born in, it really doesn't matter what part of the world you come from, okay? We all came into this world, we all came on this planet the exact same way, okay? Spirit coming down to a mind and body, having a clean slate memory wise, and it's kind of like a blank hard drive. We all came in as a blank hard drive, a soul coming into the mind, blank hard drive, and body without any kind of association to country, through social aspect, through religious aspect, none of that, okay? Because, as a 1 year old or a 2 month old, you had no bloody clue what the hell religion was, what society was, what a country was. You were just open eye, experiencing, creating, discovering, curious about it all. So we all came in on this planet that same way, okay? When you start realizing that, you kind of understand this aspect of, oh, so there's no real separation. No, when you start stepping back and looking on the global aspect, there's no separation. We all came in the same way. Now, look again, keep that global lens, all right, on the planetary level. Because again, it is crucial just to take that moment, that 2 minute, to realize that we all came in on this planet the exact same way. There was no, oh, as a 2 month old, I knew everything about my religion or my society or any kind of knowledge. Absolutely not. Impossible. You won't have a 2 month old talking with full words and sentences, okay? So we all came in that same way. And then the true, again, our story goes the same way, okay? We began learning from society various kind of indoctrination, not good or bad, again, indoctrination meaning what we were told, okay? So we were told multiple things about our origin, we were told multiple things about society, about religion. So again, from that path, we all came in the same way, and we all had all her history or origin story. We all had the same origin story and the same buildup of personality. Okay? Again, that's a planetary thing. Ain't no fucking exceptions. All right? So, upon realizing this, and you keep that global planetary outlook, okay? We ain't fucking different. We are not different. Again, all souls interconnected coming into this body and then having the same momentum of learning, all right? And the same momentum of unconscious choices. Because early on, we looked up to the people that were telling us things. And we had we were told that they knew better, okay? But again, those were terms of expression. So we didn't choose the momentum of what we've learned. So we're all grouped in on that. You don't you tell me that there's a 2 month old that's able to go, you know what, I'm not going to accept this from you, mom. I'm not going to accept this from you. That not going to work. So we all have that same base origin story. Again, it's kind of cool. Now, when you get that, and you also use that same perception, that global planetary perception, to look at the idea and the concept of money, okay? When you understand that our ancestors have built this barter system because they did not necessarily understand any other way to exchange values, to exchange things, okay? Yet it has been created by us, our ancestors, all global ancestors, okay? Ain't no separation. We're staying on the planetary level, all right? Don't get caught up into the indoctrinated separation and the divide, okay? Our ancestors, all of us, all of our ancestors created this barter system for exchange, okay? When they did not necessarily know, one, this aspect that we were all one, and then two, how to exchange from that perception, okay? yet it is still a thing created by this planet, by the civilization of this planet, all right, for this planet. Now, understanding this, can you answer the question, how is this planet in trillions of debt in a system that we consciously created at a time to barter with each other? Like the money system is something that's created. It is a fiction. It's not you pop on this planet and then it's automatically there. No, that stuff was created by your ancestors, okay? Which they still had division, they still had duality, and that was their method of exchange. Yet now we're starting to understand more and more. And when you just take a step back and you don't get wrapped into the rush of go, 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 do, 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 go, 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 do, 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 it's your identity, all of that. You don't get trapped into the individualism trap, okay? Well, you kind of look at this and you kind of go, well, wait a second, there's a lot of things that don't necessarily make sense, okay? And it's all of this is an aspect of balance, not telling you, oh, fuck money and throw it away. No, 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 no. It's just taking a step back and kind of looking at it from a planetary point, as well as when it was created by past civilization. Looking at how now that system that was created, never necessarily rechecked or reconsidered, is causing a lot of problems for people. I mean, we've seen countries go to war, pulling out scumbag moves for this fictional thing. And again, when talking about scumbag moves, I'm talking about propaganda, control, diminishment of the other for an aspect of money and possession. Yet, again, this is a fictional system that was created at a point where we still thought we were divided. But hey, look back at the beginning of this video. You understand that we all came in the same way. We're all, at that origin story, we're all the same. We did not choose our initial momentum of learning. So we didn't choose our parents. We didn't necessarily choose our environment on the physical level. On the soul level, that's a whole different deal, but that's a whole different topic. But on the physical level, we all start out the same way until we are told otherwise. We are told by the exterior what to learn from, the divided places, the different countries, or the idea of different borders. But originally, we all came in the same way. You look at a baby, you look at a newborn, and you're able to kind of remember, oh, right, pure, innocent, curious, wondering, discovering, and no knowledge or no division in the mind in an aspect of this is that, this is this. There's no divide. There's absolutely no divide as a newborn. And that was all our original state. So again, why is this, and going again, looking at that money system that our ancestors created, why is that created system that was used at an earlier point? Because we didn't necessarily know, again, ancestors didn't necessarily understand or take time to reflect upon this. They were just going with the flow and going, okay, we're divisive, we're divided, we're a different country, we're different people. They didn't see it as a human planetary thing. They were still being divided in countries and all that. So they're like, okay, well, our only way to exchange is to give and, get back. Understood. And then the money system kind of came in. But now we're starting to see that system is overtaking the human aspect. That system has led people to cause some really horrible shit for this fictitious idea that we create, again, our ancestors, but we created as a planet. And now we still kind of hold it, we kind of consider it normal that this system has placed the planet in debt. To who? It's created from within. It makes no sense. It's never really been paused and looked at. And the people who do these kind of things for money and power have never really understood that they were no better than anyone else. There's no division. We're all equal in the way that we come in. So those people, those entities, you could say, like, they've never really understood their end game, because ultimately they're gonna fucking die. It's, it's the body decays. You're gonna die. So doing all this stuff, destabilizing countries, dividing people, like, doesn't matter if it's from a single country or just people on earth in general, dividing people with propaganda, dividing people with stereotypes and all those repeated message, putting them lower than, the other, or lower than an idea of a God that would judge you, even though the God created you in their image. Thus, you have all of that, like all this division, okay? Just for money, just for power, that they're gonna lose when they die. And even if they kind of come up with the excuse of, oh, I'm doing it for my family, like some of you have heard in the Zeitgeist commentary, Rockefeller going, oh, you just need to take care of your family. Still not too smart, because you haven't thought of the end game of the planet not being there for your family. Because when you push that kind of stuff, you even start destabilizing nature for an aspect of money, you still don't get it, the end game, that you won't have a planet, you won't have the money afterward, after doing all these things. So what's the point of continuously dividing people and keeping them down from their maximum potential? It has no purpose. It has no point. You want success? You want evolution? You want, a stable civilization? Okay, let the people go. Let them evolve. Give them that knowledge. Have them understand that. Let them evolve, and look at how fast the planet is going to evolve in the next year. When everyone kind of centers down and understand we all came in from the same place, okay? We all came in the same fucking way on this planet, Earth, okay? There's no division in any of our origin story, and anybody saying otherwise has been told by someone else and has forgotten how the birth story comes in, So when it comes to that, it's okay. When you don't evolve, you die off. It's inevitable. When you don't evolve, it's kind of like keeping the same mindset and saying, no, 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 no. Okay, well, then you don't take the opportunities and the multiple opportunities of things that can be created with the sharing of information and the cross-reference of knowledge that we all have, as we are doing now. So you're going to die off. At the end of the day, that's it, that's all. Okay? But it's practically like there's no point in keeping people indoctrinated. There's no point in destabilizing countries the way that was done just for money. There's absolutely no point. The end game is futile. It's pointless. So it's a big kind of like question to ask and ponder right now at this point, where we do have time for reflection. And, we do spot this indoctrination of repeated dialogue and repeated perception. But we also understand this aspect that we all started from the same initial point, and we're all united on that front. Look at it on a planetary level, and you start to understand, oh, wow, yeah, cool. There's certain things we didn't necessarily look at, especially this aspect of the money system. And yes, it will take a certain amount of time and moments to just ponder what's going on, what can be done, because again, you look at the things that were done to get that. You look at the consequences that are done when you don't have it and when you do have it. You look at all that, and when you think on the human level, there's much more disadvantages than advantages to having that system in general. So, and again, look at the mental blockages that kind of stuff creates, and the manipulation that is done for it. There's no point. There's absolutely no point. So it's taking the time to kind of wonder and ask, okay, well, how do we change this? How can this be changed? And how can we just kind of unite, understanding that we all came from that same origin point? We're all on the same planet, To a certain degree, when it comes to languages, we do have a general base when it comes to English. Of course, this language has a bunch of assumptions that can be hidden when we don't take the time to just fine comb it as we're going through it. Yet we at least have that base point we can kind of begin and play around with in this aspect of intercommunication and exchange of understanding to find a center point where we can all unite finally. You know, whoever doesn't want to kind of just, whoever kind of want to sticks to their gun and this aspect of nationalism, they haven't understood this, that again, same planet. You know, the whole nationalism thing was something that you were given after a certain age, but you didn't come into this planet with that point. So you don't necessarily want to play by those manipulative rules from time to time. It's not, again, it's not going to an extreme and saying, okay, you dismiss completely your origin, your native or nativity. No, it's a balance. It's kind of understanding this aspect of balance. And we're at a good point to kind of take a time and just look at all these factors and not let the momentum of our ancestors affect us now, because we have much more understanding, technology, and a much more comfortable base point to look at all of this and balance it now. You know, something about the money system that could be done is, you know, not such a chokehold on people now. Okay, whatever you like to do, getting a revenue from that, whatever you're passionate about, okay, getting a sort of revenue from that. And of course, if you're doing something that you don't necessarily like, you get a bit more revenue of that because you don't necessarily like doing this thing. It's not something that's really passionate about. So there's a, you know, mentally, you're in your mindset wise, especially if you don't necessarily like it, you're kind of taking hits in that moment. You know, it's not something like a full passion. It's not saying it's poisoning you, but mindset wise, you're not into that thrilling aspect of, oh yeah, I'm going to do this 24/7. Because you see, it kind of balances out. You'd be gaining a lot more, but you wouldn't necessarily be getting as many hours. Compared to if you're doing what you love, you're just constantly creating and evolving. That thing is non-stop. You know, you might not get as much revenue as that things that you don't like, but you'll be producing a lot more. And guess what? As you're doing this, you're evolving, you're growing, you're inspiring other people as well, because the material that you create inspires them to create something similar or to add similar ingredients on their creation. So the chain momentum of creation and evolution keeps going. And it's not based on a chokehold of how many hours do I have to put in on this and that. No, it's just this aspect of pure love and creation and discovery back to the initial state, but on an active use. Remember, we all have the potential and we all have the ability to be fucking geniuses and savants. It is, you know, some people want to say autism and blah, 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 blah. Stupid words. You know, it's autism if you don't know how to control it, but you're a fucking savant if you're Einstein creating, I won't say creating weapons. He didn't only create weapons, but you understand what I mean? You know, if society sees you one way, then you're one word. If society sees you another way, then you're another word, you know? But we all have that potential. It's all the same. It's all this hyper focus on something that we love and adore. It's just an aspect of balance, of course, yet we all have that similar potential. So at this point, let's just maximize the evolution process of this planet and not remain in any kind of archaic chokeholds, you know? It's just like the knowledge we started to share between multiple countries as soon as the internet happened. We started to share various kinds of philosophies, understandings, practices, methods, techniques. And then guess what? We grew and evolved even faster. So it's the same deal. It's just pushing this on its natural evolution state. And whoever's kind of playing this aspect of domination and control, they don't get it. They're still fighting for this fictional money thing that was created by our ancestors and is only relevant to the rule set of the ideal, or how do I say, the idea of a rule set on this planet. You ain't gonna get that same rule on Mars or on the moon or on Venus when you think about it. So why are we, in 2020 still choking ourselves with our own rule sets just for a fictional idea of money and power? You see, it's just taking the time to think about it on a global scale and just sharing, like kind of communicating together on that. And yes, deprogramming, getting away from that programming because it's pointless. You ain't gonna have a planet to control if you fuck it up and have people warring with each other or taking away natural resources or dominating each other. It's not gonna work. It never did. So 2020, let's just get on this question, be patient, share information, and let's see what we can build from this point on, this new launching pad, you know? And yo, give humanity a pat on the back. We've been able to collect this knowledge and gather it up for all those years as well as share it. So that's really cool compared to how it used to be, you could say 60 years prior, or even prior, you know? So there's a big ass pat on the back to be given, you know? So have that fun and understand all the prophets were saying the same thing. The kingdom is already there. It's already here. It's all the perception that you have that can put you on the kingdom that's here now or in your own personal hell. And yes, our mental has been played with, manipulated with, okay? But there's also the aspect of not knowing what we didn't know about the subconscious and repetition. So whatever it is, you have the point to focus on. You have your present point to kind of go, oh, wait, it's all my perception. It's all in my mind. And I've been told things that hindered my perception and made me disunited from everyone else. Instead of understanding that at base point, we all came the same way. So we're all equals in that point. So again, planetary level, let's play with this, man. Let's kick it up a notch.